Good morning, everyone, to another video. Just wanted to update you guys with some recent information that I came across. I want you guys to understand that many of the Hollywood elites, many of the people that are household names, from Trump to Hillary to Biden to Joe Biden's son to certain Hollywood actors, certain Hollywood actresses, certain news anchor people who are on television who read you the news, who are simply just regurgitating messages from a teleprompter. And many of the household names that you guys are accustomed to I don't know, recognizing and knowing. These are the people that have a wide, strong, panoramic influence among people. And many people watch them. Many people know their names, their household names. I'm not saying everyone that's a celebrity is sinister, but many of them are. I would argue that about 80% of them are sinister. You don't get to where you're at without selling your soul to a degree. And when I say sell your soul, I don't literally mean that in the biblical context. I don't mean it in the context of like giving your soul to the devil. It's violating. When you sell your soul, when I say sell your soul, I'm talking about it from a perspective of loosening your moral restraints. In other words, perpetuating evil, right? And doing what you have to do to perpetuate the evil. That's selling your soul. You have to be a little bit sinister. You have to be leaning on the side of a psychopath or a sociopath or a combination of both. Narcissism, you can add that in there as well. These are people that are sick. They're mentally ill. But because our world is driven by mentally ill people, it's only apropos that mentally ill people get elevated in this rat race that everyone's racing after. You can't be a sane, a moral-minded person and get to where you want to go in this world. Usually actresses have to sleep around to get certain roles. Actors usually have to expose themselves to certain things. We know how many Hollywood actors are pedophiles. You heard the Tom Hanks story. You heard the Casey. I think the guy that used to act on the star actor on that series called The House of Cards. Gacy, I think that's his name, Casey, something like that. He's a well-known pedophile. You have certain politicians that are pedophiles. Like, we are inundated by a large influx of sick, psychotic people. And these sick, psychotic people are the ones that are given the reins because either A, they are blackballed and blackmailed. So, in other words, they don't have any power. So the only power they could be given is by somebody else. But they become puppets and controlled because if you have dirt on somebody, they're more easily to manipulate and control because they are afraid that if they do anything that falls outside of those regulating parameters that you have upon them, there's a likelihood that their secret is going to get put out there. All right? So these are people that are sick, mentally ill people. And most of these people have been hurt in their lives before. They've been hurt in the past. And so the cliche is that sick people hurt people hurt people. Sick people end up making other people sick. That's just the way it goes. So I want to read you guys an article. It's about Oprah Winfrey. And I know many of you guys probably grew up watching her, adoring her. Again, a household name. People think that she's some nice lady that tries to help people. She's overcame a lot. Yeah, we don't even know if her story is true. Let's say that. Let's get that out there, because many of these Hollywood people, they have these manufactured narratives that we go off of, and we end up believing that these narratives are true, and they're far from it. Same thing with Obama. Obama is a bisexual, and those kids weren't even his. Those kids weren't even their kids. And there are many things that you guys don't know about, but if you leave it to the mainstream, if you leave your information, if your information is limited to just what the mainstream media provides you, then you're going to be inundated by a bunch of lies, because that's what they do. They manipulate. The story about Oprah being raped by her uncle, we don't know if that's true. That's a narrative. The fact that they tell you that Obama's dad was a sheep herder, that was not his real dad. Those people are actors. Many of these people are actors. And Oprah Winfrey is no different. The lady is sick. She runs with people like she knows Epstein. She was on the Epstein Island. She's one of the people that in that Maui alleged natural disaster with the fires that burned down many buildings. She's part of that. She's part of that agenda. She's buying land from that area. See, when landowners want a certain property, they just use, especially the elite, and if they want to push an agenda, all they have to do is tap into technology, because it's all a secret web. These people are interconnected. All right, it's like George Garland used to say, there's a club out there, but we're not part of it. We're not part of that club. We're just the average layman. We don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies of this complex evil web. These people are interconnected. So when they want certain property and certain real estate, and that's not theirs, they just decimate that region. That's why you call it weather warfare. You use technology coupled with weather, and you manipulate the weather, or use direct energy weapons, DEPs, or DEWs, excuse me. And you can use these direct energy weapons to just cause major cataclysm in a region, destroy the properties, and then come in and swoop in it like you're saving the day. And these people, these landowners, like Oprah was one of them, they just buy stake. They purchase that real estate. They take it over. All right. So Oprah Winfrey is sick. Justin Bieber is a victim of being raped by a bunch of people. And you say, why am I saying this? Because it's true. What do you mean, why am I saying it? I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. Let me read you this article about Oprah Winfrey. All right. This lady is sick. All right. And this is from the FBI. And I don't really believe everything that the FBI says, but I do know that sometimes at some point the devil does come to collect. So when you make a deal with the devil and you sell your soul, some of these people come back to reality. These people that have given themselves off to evil, they come back and they want to make amends for all the wrongs that they've done. And the minute you start to get a little bit of clarity and you're trying to move in the right direction, these people will expose you. I believe that Oprah was blackmailed, and I think her time is up. Diddy too. You guys think that the FBI are just finding out about all these things Diddy did? They've always known. As long as Diddy kept doing what his controllers wanted him to do, he was fine. The minute Diddy wanted to turn around a new leaf and do something better for his life, then now it's time for us to expose you for what you are. Okay? It's almost like the person that makes a deal with the devil, and eventually they want out of the deal. And the devil's like, yeah, you can get out of this deal, but only on one condition, or several conditions. I will expose all the evil deeds that you've done. So that there are perks to doing evil, but there comes a time when the psychology of the human mind, if you have any degree of a humane nerve within your biochemical construct, if you have any degree of a moral compass, it comes to a point where you start to eat yourself in. Your body starts to eat itself up because you're inundated with so much guilt, and it starts to eat at you. You're in hell. Guilt is a third dimensional hellish emotion. Okay, and if you're in hell, you want out of hell. So these people end up feeling guilty because they're human. There's just so much evil you can do. Now there's some people who can do, immeasurable amount of evil, voluminous amount of evil, and they don't care. They don't give a damn. They can just go on forever and they can sleep well at night. But there are certain people that they just can't keep doing it. They have a degree of a conscience. That conscience starts to sear at them, starts to get painful to sleep at night. So people get addicted to pain medications and sleeping pills because the angst that they're dealing with all the evil that they've plied, starts to come back and haunt them. This is about Oprah. FBI. Oprah purchased sickening Diddy tape of underage Justin Bieber being raped. All right. So this Hollywood pimp, Oprah Winfrey, she paid, listen to this, she paid $75 million to purchase sex tapes of Sean Diddy Combs raping an underage Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter, among other child stars, and is now selling the footage to Hollywood pedophiles, an industry insider reveals. These people are sick, folks. You say, well, why would she do that? Why wouldn't she? You see, you guys have to understand, when people get on television, they are putting on an act. Even when you think something is live, it's an act. Once the camera is on, it's an act. There's no such thing as a reality show. If you're hooked onto the Kardashians, that's not a reality. There's no such thing as a reality show, because these people have cameras in front of their faces. They know the cameras are there. The producers can edit. They play music to tug at the heartstrings of people's emotions as you're watching it. So that's not truly a reality show. A reality show is you watching people who don't know that they're being filmed. Okay? There's no rehearsed script. There's no editing. It's just raw footage from beginning to end. This sick bitch, Oprah Winfrey, is taking a tape of Diddy raping boys, and she's selling it to pedophiles. I'm telling you, Hollywood is Hollywood. People watch television, and I hear parents say, oh, I want my child to get into the entertainment industry. I'm like, good luck with that. Your child is going to be taken advantage of. It's not even guaranteed that your child's going to make it. It's a pedophilic arena, and children are consistently taken advantage of. Okay? Now, Oprah has been hiding in plain sight for decades, using the media to shield her from the truth. But this time, there's no covering it up. The tide has turned. The truth has finally come to light, and it's about to shake the entire system to its core. Terrified, traumatized, destroyed. Those were some of the words Justin Bieber used to describe his experience of growing up in the entertainment industry. And people wonder why Justin Bieber would have mental issues and go off the deep end and get addicted to drugs. You guys think that these stories are being made up? There's a certain degree of truth in all of this, but it's the way the system runs. There's a little bit of truth that needs to be leaked out with the majority of lies. So things sort of get convoluted. It's hard to kind of decipher what's true and what's not true. But this is definitely true. And this has nothing to do with Luciferianism or anything like that. That's just the term that they call it. This is just sickening. These are sick people. Diddy is sick. I'm sure Diddy was raped as a child too. But the thing that bothers me is when things go unchecked and people who are ill are just given a pass and given power and given money to perpetuate their evil. It's sort of like an alcoholic that's given more alcohol to drink. Don't we try to take the alcohol to some programs to detox them off of the chemicals of alcohol that has them addicted to the elixir? Don't we try to remedy the situation when somebody is sick? So why then do we all of a sudden just let these sickened people just have free reign and give them power and give them? But it's deliberate. It's staged. I mean, it's staged for sure. It's deliberate, and it's something that's planned. It's not by coincidence. Surrounded by sharks, predators, and open Luciferians. So these are the people that he was surrounded by. Growing up in the entertainment industry really did a number on Justin Bieber. Friends of Justin Bieber warn that he's deeply distressed. All right, he's deeply distressed at the most traumatic. All right, at the most traumatic experience of this. I'm reading this, man. It saddens me, man, when I hear things like this. But then again, my question is, where were his parents? See, these are the parents that want their kids to be so famous. They'll push them and push them and push them. I don't know. Parents, we have to protect our children. Friends of Justin Bieber warned that he's deeply distressed as the most traumatic experience of his life is now being exploited for profit without his consent and at his expense. Oprah is a sickening bitch, man. You're selling. First of all, you buy the tape for $75 million. And you have to ask yourself, like, who buys a tape of sodomy, all right, of a grown man sodomizing young boys, raping them, and then you buy the tape to sell it to other Hollywood like, wow. It's a total nightmare, said the insider. He feels like he was victimized years ago and now he's being victimized yet again. If this footage gets out, it will follow him for life. It will be on the internet forever. To make matters worse for Bieber, he's been trying for years to speak out about the abuse he endured at the hands of powerful industry pedophiles, but the mainstream media has consistently shut him down. You see, the mainstream media. When I get on here and talk to you guys about mainstream media, they are the evil conglomerate. They work together. They are the false prophet. They are the ones that manipulate the minds of the people. And you guys are believing mainstream media about voting. You guys are believing the mainstream media about politics. You guys are believing the mainstream media for most of your information. As a matter of fact, mainstream media shapes y'all's reality because they shape your perception, and then your perception becomes your reality. That's sad. That means you are allowing deliberately, willfully, a lying agency, all right, to manipulate your mind. They're founded on lies. That's all they do. Diddy was grooming Bieber in front of the world, even warning Bieber on Jimmy Kimmel's show not to talk about the things he did with Big Brother Puff. The warning signs were flashing red, and nobody stepped in to save Justin. Okay? So these people, they speak about it openly, but we're so jaded as a society. We're so blind and numb. We lack critical thinking skills. Our cognitive skills are in the dumps because we don't eat right. We don't work out. We don't do anything to elevate or accentuate the functions of our brains. We're so locked into pleasure, living off of our baser felt needs as animals do. And I would even argue, say animals are a little bit more sensitive than us. They have more of a connection to nature. We don't even have that connection. And we hear these people say these things on television. And just because they don't flagrantly and outright, overtly and explicitly say, I raped Justin Bieber, you guys can't read between the lines. What the hell is a grown man doing with a young boy on a retreat by himself? Same thing with Michael Jackson. You people love Michael Jackson so much, you just couldn't believe that. What is a grown man doing sleeping with a bunch of little boys in his bed? Nah, you guys can give the excuses. Well, he never had a childhood. I don't give a damn what he never had. That's inappropriate. You know, we can't give excuses for sick people. Yeah, if you had a effed up childhood, yeah, you're sick. You need help. But we're not gonna fill the void by putting a bunch of little boys in your bed so you can fondle them and touch them inappropriately and have them give you oral sex, or you give them oral sex. We can't have that. Well, it's Michael Jackson. He's a great entertainer. Yeah. So my camera keeps cutting off. It says it keeps overheating, but I'm gonna continue to try to finish this. So yeah, there's a Rachel Chandler she's turned sex trafficker as well. So a lot of these people who've been abused, they become part of the predators, because hurt people hurt people. So she was trafficked, so she became a handler, helping these sick pedophiles do their little evil deeds. Okay, so in a sense, these things have been out, but no one wants to listen. So don't forget that Kanye West told us years ago that Diddy was a Fed. Now you say, what do they mean by Diddy's a Fed? That means that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, known to you guys as the FBI, and the CIA, there's a there's a corrupt essence in how they operate. It's not what you think it is. The FBI will have two fronts. The CIA will have two fronts. It's a dual charge system, but it's all mired in the realm of convoluted emissions. It's made to convolute things and mix things up and confuse people. You do have people in the CIA that are in the CIA for the good of it, just like you have people in the medical industry that are in it for the good of it. Then you also have people in the medical industry that are about killing patients and getting patients sick in order to make a profit. You have people in the FBI that are real. They're real good people. They want to fight crime. They want the world to be better. Then you have a group, all right, that don't think that way. All right, they have their own agenda. They have what they want to do, and it's evil. So Puff being a Fed means that's the evil part of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Remember, as I started reading this article, the title of it was that the FBI is revealing this information about Oprah selling these tapes to Hollywood pedophiles for $75 million. Okay? So we know that to be a fact. So the FBI will give out truth to you, but they also have another side to the FBI. When you're a Fed, it means that you've been bought. You're an agent. Epstein was an agent of the Israeli Mossad, equivalent to the American version of the CIA. So Diddy was saying this years ago that he's a Fed. He's bought. They knew these secrets about Diddy. It's just time to reveal it. And they're allowing the good side of the FBI to reveal itself, but there's a bad side to the FBI. It's like in politics. You have a small remnant that are actually good, that believe in the system of politics, which is idiotic to believe in any system that the government provides. Then you have the majority of government politicians who are just evil and corrupt. So Kanye West and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child. This is Kanye West saying this in an interview, and I'm reading what he said. Hopefully my camera doesn't turn off again. Okay, he says, read here. Kanye West and the Kardashians. Okay, no, he says, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child. None of these Niggas, none of these N-words want to say something. And then the host of the show says, didn't Travis give you the address? Then Kanye West responds, Travis gave me the address, but as far as Meek Mill's, Puff Daddy, whoever, all right, whoever, none of these N-words, all you fake hard N-words, F you. No, hold on. All you fake hard N-words, F you. Know what I'm saying? Because you can't shoot nobody anyways, and the reason you can't talk is because you did a deal. You effing Fed. You see what I mean by the deal that they make with the feds? Or they don't even make it with the feds. The feds come with you with a proposition, and they give you an offer that you can't refuse. And you can't refuse it because they have dirt on you. So they buy you. They buy you out. They put you as the face of their ring. It's deeper than Epstein. It's deeper than Diddy. This is deeper. All right? That's why you got to come at me. Because part of the deal is that you do da and get B out of jail is you promise to go pull my coattails. So y'all N-words need to shut the F up about me. Close quote. All right? That's what Kanye was saying. So Aaron Carter, which is another person that was victimized with Bieber. Aaron Carter was another victim of Diddy and pedophile industry executives, and he reached out to Kanye West, okay, following his rant about Diddy being a Fed. This tweet dropped on November 3rd, 2022. Aaron Carter tweeted, this is what he said. He says, yo, Kanye, let's talk. Let's talk, man to man. Right as Kanye was calling Diddy out, and Aaron Carter ended up dead 2 days later. Guys, I mean, come on. That's a coincidence to y'all, right? mainstream media told y'all it was just, he died of drugs, right? Drug overdose. You guys are, it gets to a point where it's just hard to exist in a world where people are just so gullible and naive that I just keep my mouth closed. And that's why I talk on this YouTube channel. It's a way for me to express without literally imploding. Because I have so much to talk about that I can't just talk about this with the regular layman that's in front of me. They're going to look at me like I'm the one that's crazy, but they're the ones that are crazy. So he dies 2 days later. The elites, hold on here. All right, the elites are hiding their depravity, all right, in plain sight. There's no such thing as coincidences when it comes to protecting the elite. Pedophile ring. There's no such thing as elite coincidences. They'll do anything that it takes to protect it, because once you uncover one, you uncover all. Raw video of early Justin Bieber music video when he was still a child, whose lyrics make fun of how his parents told him to a producer who makes him do things he doesn't want to do and to call child services. Shortly before his death, Aaron Carter revealed the feds attempted to get him to set up Michael Jackson while covering up. Wow, this is crazy. While covering up their partner in crime, Sean Diddy Combs. Roll video of this is a video of the singer Aaron Carter, brother of former Backstreet Boys member Nick Carter. So this is an interview with Aaron Carter. He says, I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at University City, and there's four FBI agents waiting for me. My mom's there, and she's like, so Justin Bieber has always tried to talk, and almost a decade later now, they're trying to expose him. Not that they're trying to expose him. He's willing to tell the truth about what happened to him. He was a victim. But the sick part about this is Oprah had bought this tape, like $75 million. She ran with Epstein. She also ran with it's Epstein, but it was another Stein. Forgot his name. Sick guy who's also indicted on some sexual stuff, and Jay-Z's part of it too. There's an article, I'm gonna find it. It's somewhere on my phone. There's an article, it's a PDF article that I got from somebody a long time ago on a social media platform that nobody hardly knows about. I actually don't even have it anymore. This lady sent me these documents, these court papers, and these were transcripts of the court documents. Sean Carter is sick as well. It's just a matter of time till all these people get exposed. But even if they are exposed, it's controlled, right? It's we're going to control the information that's out. So we're going to allow certain people to be exposed, but we cannot unveil the totality of how deep and evil this web of pedophilia goes. Like we can't do that, but we have to let a little bit leak out. So even the information that we're getting now, it's still to a certain degree controlled. It's 10 times worse than what you're being told. The information, the amount, the severity of these cases are much more severe than what's being transmitted to us. There's much more to it. It's much more profound than what you're hearing. So back in 2016, Bieber came forward. He named Diddy as a powerful industry pedophile, but hey, no one was listening. So of course they try to, discredit Bieber, mentally ill. They always go to that. You're crazy. But prove it. Prove it. Why don't we take people by their words anymore? That's what drives people crazy, is when they're telling the truth and you cast them underneath the classification of a person that's mentally ill, therefore discrediting their story. Because if they're mentally ill, most people are going to be, well, you can't believe him, he's not right in the head. But when you're going against the masses of such a narrative that's built as such against you, that will in a way drive you crazy. It's not you are crazy initially, you're driven to that point of insanity because everyone else around you are the ones that are insane. You're the sane one, but inevitably you end up being insane like the rest of the people around you. So I really feel bad for Justin Bieber. In a heartfelt confession to his church congregation in Beverly Hills, Bieber revealed the disgusting truth that the music industry is controlled by evil pedophiles, and child stars are forced into degrading and dehumanizing sexual encounters with elite figures, including powerful politicians. I said that earlier. Politicians are part of it, man. You guys keep voting for your politicians like idiots, dumbasses, voting. You don't even know who these people are, but you think and believe that these people are going to do something to change your life. You're an idiot. Bieber has been trying to warn us. I'm driving here, that's why I had to pause. All right, Bieber has been trying to warn us ever since. He's been trying to warn us ever since about the real nature of the entertainment industry. Fast forward 2020, and Bieber released his Yummy music video, where he's dining with a group of elites. Bieber posted photos of babies and pizza on his Instagram back then to promote his single Yummy. Make no mistake, this is Pizzagate, and Justin's blowing the whistle. Now, compound all this with the disturbing truth coming out against Diddy and the fact that he was pals with Epstein's alleged victims turned child sex trafficker Rachel Chandler. Remember Epstein? But there's another Steen. We know about the Epstein. We know about the Epstein Island, but there's another Stein. I don't know his name completely, but there's another guy out there that not as egregious, but he's just as sick as Epstein. And Epstein is also a front man. He's a product of the Israeli Mossad. The Israeli Mossad is equivalent to the American CIA. They have front men. They give front men the money to build these things, and they give you the name, so you become the face of their pedophilic ring. But it's not Epstein. Epstein was empowered by somebody, and that's who the real evil people are. Epstein's not the real evil one. Yes, he's evil for taking the money. Remember, you sell your soul, they come back to collect. Epstein. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. The Pizzagate thing. My camera turned off on me there. But the Pizzagate thing is very, very real. These guys, these people, politicians and Hollywood actors and actresses, these people run a sex trafficking underground operation going through New York. It's crazy. It's hard for you guys to see the truth in it, because we're living such lives of indifference to these things that considering them is just too much, right? It's just too much for our conscience to deal with. We don't even want to consider it. I'm not even telling you to believe it, but I know it's true. I can tell you to believe it, but I can't tell you what to believe. I cannot motivate or manipulate anybody's mind to believe in anything. It's left up to you as a sovereign individual entity to apply your own critical thinking skills and come to your own conclusions. But as a person that's talking to you, you're not trying to look into that. You just want to think that the world is peaches and creams and Jesus is going to come back one day and save the day. But Jesus this Jesus that's going to save the day, he's not doing shit right now. He's just watching these kids get sexually trafficked. And these things have been going on for eons. Decades, beyond decades, centuries. It's been going on forever. And yet you guys keep talking about a loving savior. Like, how long are you going to watch people go through pain and destruction? What's the end game here? To go to heaven? Look, all we can do is monitor our living that we currently have in the present. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about the past. All right, I'm thinking about now. What's going on now? What have you done for me lately? I don't give a damn what you have prepared for me in the future. And that's what people live off of. They have this future mindset of a paradise or heaven where none of these things are going to exist. But I'm telling you, that's fool's gold. Those things exist now. Those evil things are existing now in our current reality. And we'd rather sit back idly in a docile fashion, awaiting and putting our hands together in prayer, which is the worst thing you can do, thinking that some savior is going to come and fix everything one day. You guys are total idiots. We have the power now to turn the system around. But too many people are sitting on their hands, sitting on their knees with their hands together, praying for something outside of them to fix the situation that they're currently in. That's a classic definition of being moronic, idiotic. How can you? If I see a young woman getting raped, am I going to just sit there and say I'm going to pray that God comes and saves her? Or am I going to do something about it because I see it? Am I going to act like the God that I am? The generator, the organizer, and the dispenser of my reality. Am I going to sit there and allow a woman to get raped while I'm there, while I can see it? Oh, it's none of my business. I'm going to just pray that God is going to come and help her. But you're there. We know that these things are happening in our reality in terms of these kids getting sexually trafficked and being sodomized and raped and being taken advantage of. We know that. No one does nothing. Because people go to church on Sundays. All the people that are going to church on Sundays, if you're so moral, imagine if every human soul that went to church on Sundays, and it's a lot because Christianity is the biggest religion in the world. Imagine if all these people said, man, F the church building. We're going to go out and do something about this sexual trafficking thing. No matter what it is, collectively. If each of us does our part, it becomes a collective movement, right? Whether it's you speaking about it, whether it's you writing a letter to your congressman, or whether it's you going out protesting, whatever it is, whatever talents that you have that you can use to reach the masses, you apply it and you use it. We should be putting our boots on the ground and doing something about it. Get off your damn knees. Get off your knees. We have enough pedophiles on their knees, sodomizing young men. You church-going people are on your knees as well, committing acts of treachery. You think prayer does anything? Well, you know what? If that's what you believe, then continue to pray, and we'll see what happens with this world. As if we need to force God's hand. Well, if everybody prays and everybody gives your life to God, God will do something. What kind of God is that? That sits there knowing that evil is happening right in front of his eyes, but he's waiting for everybody to collectively come to him first. You all have to come to me first before I do something. It's an evil despot. That's not even a God. That's not even loving. That is an ultimatum. That's like, if you come to me or else, I'm going to allow this to continue to happen. I have the power to change the world for the better, but I'm not going to do anything because I'm waiting for everybody to give their life to me. And if anybody doesn't give their life to me, I'm going to just keep watching you suffer. That's the God y'all serve. Y'all are idiots. Pizzagate is real. It's as real as your brain. It's as real as your face. It's as real as your skin. It's as real as you. It's real. Look it up. Do research. Not through mainstream media engines. You're going to have to look through alternate media outlets to know about the reality of Pizzagate. So Bieber has been warning us for years that Pizzagate is real, and powerful figures in the music industry are raping child stars and murdering babies and children. Unfortunately, the mainstream media took away Bieber's voice, silencing him to protect the perpetrators, and so very few people get to hear his warnings. Back in 2016, Bieber came forward naming Diddy as a powerful industry pedophile, but instead of investigating these serious claims, the mainstream media went into full damage control, protecting Diddy and painting Bieber as a troubled, mentally unstable young man. That's what they do. That's the motive that they always use. Whenever you come out for the truth, and you have to understand, you have to ask yourself, like, why? What's the incentive of protecting Diddy? Well, it's not that they're protecting Diddy as if Diddy is so important that he needs to be protected by the mainstream media. The thing is, once you uncover that aspect of Diddy, then it allows the story to take a deeper trail. The rabbit hole gets a little bit deeper and wider. It allows ease of accessibility into the truth. See, once you uncover one aspect of this pedophilic ring and this circus, you start to uncover more. The more you uncover, you start to uncover much more, and then some, and then some. That's what they don't want. And you say, why does the mainstream media do that? Well, the mainstream media are part of it. The people who run the mainstream media are part of the pedophilic ring. I'm trying to get you guys to understand. People who run the world, the people who control the money, and the people who run the world in the sense of they control the narratives and they control the information. These people are sick. Because number one, oppressing people makes them happy. It's not even about the money per se. It's the joy of keeping secrets, and it's the joy of tainting purity. And I say tainting purity is taking advantage of the vulnerable. Kids are vulnerable. That's why they're the ones that these pedophiles seek. These predators seek people who are vulnerable. They're not going to seek a person that's equipped, that's able to defend themselves, that's able to think clearly and know where the traps are before they get into the traps. They don't want to mess with people who can see the landmines from a mile away. They don't want that. Not at all. So Bieber has tried to speak out against this, but he's addicted to drugs. He's going through. All right, continue where I left off. And I looked at all four of them, and I said, these are the four FBI agents that came up to him. And I looked at all four of them, and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm going to do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you crazy. And I looked over at my mom, and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what's going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And he goes, and she goes, well, I think something happening you. No, I think something. And I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving everything you can think of. End quote. Continuing. It sure isn't looking good for the elite pedophiles like Diddy running the entertainment industry. According to an industry whistleblower, Oprah is actually the world's most prolific pimp, and the walls are closing in on her too. Oprah is a Luciferian who's been hiding in plain sight while making a fortune servicing the pedophilic needs of Hollywood and the entertainment industry. Elite. She's far from the only one. Remember that little school she built in Africa for those girls? That was a funnel to traffic kids. Don't believe everything you hear on television, folks. Stop being idiots. Luciferianism is the religion a young up and coming star must adopt if they wish to succeed in Hollywood for the music industry. And this is another guy. A raw video, early live Jay-Z performance with reggae influenced Jamaican sounding singer, difficult to hear. And Lucifer's song in the morning, I'm gonna take you out of earth. Lucifer's son of the morning, I'm gonna take you out of earth. With Jay-Z interjecting raping something about the murder capital. Close quote. That's a verse from one of Jay-Z's songs. All right, reading along here. According to the mainstream media, Oprah's laundry list of pedophile connections is just an unfortunate coincidence. It's like the extensive list of Clinton associates who wound up dead in bizarre circumstances, often committing suicide by putting 2 bullet holes in the back of their own head. Yeah, how do you put 2 bullet holes in the back of your head? But you guys believe that shit. That's how dumb people are. One coincidence after another for decades and decades, as Cat Williams warns, 2024 is the year when the darkness is finally being exposed and the industry elites are being served up with justice. A whistleblower from Oprah's inner circle has come forward revealing the truth about her crimes and issuing a warning. The authorities are closing in on her as we speak. Oprah whistleblower said this, as someone who has worked closely with Oprah for years, I can no longer hold my peace. The truth is far darker than anyone realizes, and it needs to come out before she can destroy the lives of more young and innocent kids. Behind her carefully constructed image by the CIA, she's been running an evil empire. For years, she's been pimping out young, ambitious young stars to the most repulsive industry executives, preying on their desire for success by offering them up to these reptiles in charge. These vulnerable young people Many of them just start out, are promised fame and fortune, but in reality they are lost and naive young kids who have been exploited, manipulated, and abused behind closed doors. Recently, she took things to an even more disturbing level. She purchased the infamous sex tape featuring Diddy and some of his victims, including a young Justin Bieber, who can confirm was not a willing participant. Bieber didn't consent to what happened on that tape, but Oprah didn't care. She saw it as an opportunity to make millions of dollars, and she did. Not only is she profiting from their humiliation, but she's also been using the tape as leverage in business deals, holding it over the heads of the celebrities involved, trapping them in her web of influence. This isn't just a scandal. It's exploitation of the worst kind. She's trafficked in young people's dreams, profited from their abuse, and now she's capitalizing on one of the most humiliating violations imaginable. The authorities are closing in on her, and from what I know, her arrest is just a matter of time. I don't think she's gonna be arrested. This is gonna blow over. Nothing's gonna happen to Oprah. This is no longer just about Hollywood gossip. It's about justice for those whose lives she's ruined for the sake of her own power and profit. Close quote. When Oprah goes down, she won't be going down alone. Many of her closest associates are already serving time behind bars, and she'll soon have plenty of company in prison. After Oprah close friend Jerry Harris was sentenced to 12 years in prison on child sex crimes in July, the media fact-checked anybody who dared to point out that he was Oprah's protege. This was information they did not want to get out. But in reality, Harris was the star of Oprah's Netflix show Cheer, and she personally groomed him for the role. Then, like many of her other friends, Harris was exposed as a child rapist after he was caught using his position to lure underage children. But Jerry Harris, just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Oprah and her pedophile connections. You might have heard of J.O. the Deuce of John of God, who will spend the rest of his life behind bars after being found guilty of sickening array of pedophile trafficking and rape charges. Oprah featured J.O. Dios on her talk show in 2020 after traveling all the way to Brazil to interview him. According to Oprah, the man who would later be found guilty of the most hideous crimes against children was an inspiring figure. I'm going to stop there and continue this. I got to go.